What in the world happened? Can you hear me now? I think you can. I'm gonna pull it up. Anyways, in this video, what we're gonna do is go over exactly what the whole process is of selling books that I do, which is Amazon to Amazon. So I buy books from Amazon and then I turn around and sell them back on Amazon. Let's see. Not seeing my thing here. Apologize, just making sure that I'm actually recording. There we go. Can you hear me? Hopefully. Let's see. Yeah. Not seeing my thing. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to edit all this. Anyways, what I'm gonna do is go over exactly how I source books, which is Amazon to Amazon, like I said, and I want to show you exactly what I do in order to make some pretty big profits with all of this. And I think it's pretty valuable because I see it as one of the safest ways to sell on Amazon. It's just, you know, you got to get used to it and everything, because if you're thrifting, it's pretty easy to make some profits, you know, and you're spending $2. As long as you can sell it for, I think it's like 12, you'll make something. But for online arbitrage, it's a little bit different. You're going to be spending a little extra money, so you have to kind of know the historical data of the book more to find those profits. So let's dive into it, and I'll kind of show you exactly what I'm talking about. So in this video, I'm going to just be using Keepa. There is another sourcing tool called BookMine. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. It is definitely a better sourcing tool. It's not as complicated as Keepa, but you do pay for it. So that's why I'm going to go over Keepa, because I think it's like $22 a month or something like that. Super affordable, and definitely where you want to start, I would say. So with Keepa, the reason why it's kind of confusing a little bit is there's several things that you can go with, is like the Keepa deals, there's Keepa tracker. I don't use app. Then there's data, where you use product finder, and then there's other ones. I think I use product viewer as well if you want to look at a specific product. But we'll start with deals. With deals, they'll bring you all the stuff up front. And so what you're gonna doing is you're just gonna be coming in here, and this pulls all the books from Amazon that are in this criteria that you put right here. So everything's going to be pulled up right here, like this one. This price, it looks like it's dropped. And what's propping up at the bottom right corner of the screen is a Keepa graph. And a Keepa graph is just a historical data of this product being sold on Amazon. So all the green drops on that, we'll make it a little bigger. All the green drops on this is indicating a sell, because that's the seller, the sales rank drops right there. So every time it sells, or you see that drop in that green line, that's a sell. So you can see that we're looking at the last year right now, because we can click on the year right here. Looking at the last year, it hasn't sold like crazy amount, but it has sold some. Now, the other lines, this blue line isn't that important, but you are going to want to keep an eye on it. It is the new price, so you can see that's up here at 73, and then the used line down here is kind of like what you want to look at more, is this black line. It's the lowest used offer. So at this point in time, on October 14th, 2025, the lowest used price for this book was $25. And then the purple line is, you do want to take it into consideration, but it's not super important. But you're going to take that, because that's the buy box. And what the buy box is, let's do this. Open this in a new link. The buy box is what you're going to want to try to get. It's what you really want to be in the most. But in this type of method of selling, you don't want to rely on it, because it can, drop dramatically, number one, and two, like that happened this last year is it could disappear on you, and that's really not good when that happens. This one actually doesn't have a buy box, so we'll go back and we'll see if we can't find one with a buy box so I can kind of show you. This one will probably have it. And another tool that you're probably going to want to look into is Seller Amp if you're going to be selling from Amazon to Amazon. I have a link, but I don't have it in the description right now. But I'll add it on there afterwards. But anyways, let's look at this one. This one really isn't that good, and you can see that the lowest used offer really isn't ever coming above 20 bucks. And whenever you're doing online arbitrage like this, when you're buying from Amazon to sell back on Amazon, I mean, depending on the price, if you can get it down there around the $5-6 range, which is very rare unless it's like a Christmas seasonal book type of deal, then you're gonna want to probably find things above $27. If you can sell, if you want to try to find something that you can sell above 27 bucks, that's the hard part. And this one doesn't have a sales rank either. Or sorry, not sales rank. Buy box. Here, this one's gotta have it, right? Here we go. We got a new buy box, and then here's the used. This is the one that you're gonna want to make sure that you see and use the most, is the used buy box. Don't go off the new, because you're not gonna be able to get that, especially if it's Amazon new. If it's a FBA seller that's new, don't try to price above them. If it's FBA seller or FBM seller that's new, you might be able to price above them depending. Now, this is the buy box that you're going to want to look at. This is what you're going to want to price around and try to get right here. There is a repricer that you can use to like follow the buy box, and I'd highly recommend that, just because it's, you know, very useful to have that type of thing. And this book is actually a good example of a pretty darn good book. Well, with shipping, it's a little kind of squeezing it, but the buy box stays up there at $49. The used price stays up there around the 40s usually. It does come down a little bit, but in the past you can see that it's actually stayed right there in the 40, 49, up to the 60s even. So this is actually a prime example of a book that you want to look for. The sales rank drops, you know, it's selling a decent amount. You don't have to worry about it. The used offer count, which is this black line on the third graph down, as long as this one isn't going up there crazy up into the 40s or 50s and rising constantly, you're fine there. But this is kind of what you want to look for in a graph, where it's like going like off the bat at 7, or sorry, the used offer count is like 8 or 7 right now. It's not really that high. So this is kind of what you want. But we're looking at, what's that? That's 18, 19, 32. So we got 19.32. And then if we can get it sold for the 49 price, that's a 60% ROI at $11 of profit. And you can definitely get higher ROI. You can get a crazy higher ROI. You can get, you know, not that much higher. You know, it's just depending on the book, of course. But at 60% ROI, I'm taking that bet, especially if I'm making above $10 of profit. That's kind of what you want, and it's all about volume here. Like, yes, if I buy this one book, it's not going to bring me back but $10 off of a $19 buy cost. That's really not like amazing or anything. But if I do that 100 times, you know, now we're starting to talk about some money. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what you want to do. You just want to come down through here and find everything. This isn't a keep it tutorial, so I'm not going to go in depth on all of these that you want to do, but that's the main deals and data with the product finder. Watch some of my other videos about Keepa, and I'll go into the filters with Keepa Product Finder. That's kind of, this is the main tool that you're going to be using to find your books, because, you know, you're not going to the thrift stores anymore. You're sourcing completely online, and you know, you need tools to help you do that. You can't just go to Amazon, you know, and start typing in books. You know, there's millions and millions of books on Amazon. I think it was like 44 million books last time I looked. It's too much to go on there and try to figure it out. You're not going to be able to do it. So you have to go on to these tools like Keepa or Bookmine, if you want to do that. But the thing is you got to, watch some videos. So, I've got tons of free videos on my YouTube channel about Keepa and about Bookmine that you can watch and understand like how to find these books. Now, the biggest thing that you're going to want to understand though is this is a seasonal game. Used books is definitely a seasonal game, especially online. You don't have to do it. There's ways to, do it where you're buying really expensive books, but it just takes a lot longer if you're not going to play the seasonal game. The seasonal game comes down to textbook season, so high school books, college books, and then obviously those are during the semesters. So high school doesn't really have a semester at Christmas, but it does have it at August and September. That time, whenever high schools are buying their books to replenish the ones that got torn up from the year before or something. Then comes Christmas time. That's a big one. All the Christmas books. There's just tons and tons and tons of Christmas books that just go huge up in value at that time. And then there's also college books, which is an August, September thing whenever they're going back after summer. And then there's also another season of it in January whenever they're coming back for Christmas break. So that's where you want to focus in on. I just made a couple Christmas videos to how to source Christmas books on Keepa. So check those out, because right now in January is the time to buy them. Right now all the Christmas books are super cheap. If you go on there, you can get them like for $5, $6, you know what I'm saying, and then turn around and flip them for 20, 30, even up to 40, 50s range, depending on the book. There's so much profit to be made right now. If you can get in on Christmas books, right now is the time. You're going to want to look at those Keepa graphs, and you're just going to see a spike during the Christmas time. And that's how you know it's a Christmas book. And you'll be surprised at what is a Christmas book, because some Christmas books are just like really popular gifts. You know what I'm saying? There's, I think it was a Harry Potter book before that just did really well during Christmas time every single year. And it was just because, it's a gift. It has nothing to do with Christmas per se, but it was like a really popular gift that everyone got. But that's the main way I find my books. How I keep track of everything. Every time I buy a book, I'm also going to be adding it to my Google spreadsheet here. So you want to keep track. The biggest thing you're going to do, or the best thing that you can do, is start tracking. And I do have this sheet in the link. I do have a link to this sheet in the description below, completely free, no email or anything. You can download it and start tracking your purchases right away. You're going to have to, once you download this, you're going to have to link your seller board to it. But then every time you purchase a book, you put in the cost. And then I always have a tag for, like, if I want a prep center, that way it adds my prep center price in there. But then I'll click this, and then it'll auto-populate everything right here. So this is what I just populated in right here. So you can see it's on this date, 7/29. I added the prep center in there so that whenever I bring this part down, it will add my prep center fee. Because I always send all my books to a prep center in Virginia. I never see the book. I purchase it, send it to them, they prep it, and then they send it to Amazon for me. I wouldn't recommend starting there, but if you can get there, the quicker you can, the better, because it's 10 times better. Because otherwise, what you have to do is whenever you buy a book, you have to get it sent to yourself, and then you have to print out some labels, label it, and then box it up and send it to Amazon, and then Amazon will sell it for you. It's just too much work, too much to do, too much to handle. my recommendation is just get it sent to you. Don't worry about it after that. Get it sent to your prep center. Don't worry about it after that. You know, and it is $2.25 per book, which does add up, trust me. But it's completely worth the cost, trust me. But anyways, driving back into this, I always track it with that, and then on top of that, I also use Sellerboard. There is a link in the description below. Sellerboard is accounting software, kind of, but it more or less I use it to number one, get a good picture where I'm at every day. Like today, I haven't made any sales. Yesterday, I made 165 in sales, and for the month, I'm at 5,000, and that just really helps me kind of picture everything. But what it really does is gives me my what do you call that? My inventory valuation. So I'm gonna come in here. I don't know if I can remember how to do that right now. I think it's reports. Come down here, stock history, and then stock history. And then we're going to download this Excel spreadsheet here. I don't know how long it's going to take. But anyways, what it's going to do, oh, that was quick. What it's going to do is give me what I have still in stock right now. So what's going to happen when you start this business is you're going to come to the end of the year, tax season, and you're going to come across the question that either you, if you're doing your own taxes, or your CPA is going to have for you is, all right, what's your stock valuation? You know, what's your inventory valuation that you still have? And if you're like me, I'm going to be like, I don't know, what is that? You know, well, I finally figured out that the best way to do it is to download Sellerboard and look at run this report for stock valuation and look at this number right here. 23,524. That is my stock value. That's what I have in stock, the valuation of it. And that's, you know, that number is, you have to have it pretty much. Either that or you're just making up a number, and you know that's not gonna fly with the IRS. So the best thing you can do is download this Sellerboard. Keep all your, every time you get ship something in, or you have an update on your, or prep center ship something in, come in here to products, come here to cogs, filter it by 0. That way you can see everything that you haven't put in yet. I just got a shipment sent out yesterday, but I don't think it's going to be in here yet. Yeah, it's not in here yet. But you can see that this one, it just got shipped out. My prep center shipped it out yesterday, so it's starting to upload some of them, but hasn't quite done all of them yet. But as soon as they are updated in here, come through here and here, and then update the cogs, and that will keep that spreadsheet that we downloaded, the stock valuation, up to date. That way you don't have to wonder like, oh, I have no idea what my valuation of my stock is. A few years back, I was scrambling because I had no idea what that number was, and I ended up getting a number, but unfortunately I can't be completely certain that it was on point, you know. But you know, luckily I didn't get audited or nothing, so I should be good. Because for the past few years I'm on point completely, because I have Sellerboard, and I know that I have been updating that every time I get a shipment gone out. So that's the main thing, is you're confident in your numbers and you know it. Now you are gonna have to get QuickBooks, which I can't upload it actually, but you are gonna have to get QuickBooks in order to get, you know, have your profit and loss statements good, your balance sheet and stuff good. That's a little more in depth than what I want this video to be. If you need help with that, I am a certified QuickBooks Pro advisor. If you need help with that, I can help you. I do have a link in the description below that you can book a call with me. If you just want, you know, help on the back end stuff for Amazon, I can do that too. If you want help, you know, sourcing, we can do a sourcing session together. But just give me a call. It's a free 30-minute call at first. Then we can set up like a video call later, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I'm getting it down to where nothing's really different, anyways. But anyways, that's pretty much what you got to do in order to sell books from Amazon to Amazon, and the profits are amazing. Like, if you're selling traditional OA or if you're selling wholesale, you know, your margins, you're fighting for, you know, 8%, or the wholesale lower sometimes, you know. But with this type of system, it's not crazy like thrifting. Like, you're not going to get 2,000% ROI most likely. But you will be able to get, you know, easily 100% ROI, 200% ROI. But, you know, I think my criteria that I like to see is at least 50% ROI. That way, if it does go lower, I'm at least breaking even at the least. But if it goes higher, obviously, you know, you made better. But I also want to cap it off at, try to at least cap it off at $10 per book. But that changes with seasonal, because seasonal, there's going to be books where you're buying, like, you know, 10 to 20 to 30 copies of a single book, and if I'm making $5 per copy, but I'm selling 30 of them, you know, I'm cool with that. I'm all right with that. So don't make a criteria where it's like 50% ROI and $10 profit. No, nothing less. Don't make it to where it's like you're so rigid where you won't, you know, buy those books that sell 30 some copies of, you know, because those are really good. You know, that's where you're gonna get a lot of money really fast. Is with those books, just only make you $5 profit, but I mean, it's probably 90% ROI because you only spent $6 to get it or something, and you're selling 30 of them. You're making, you know, I don't know, I can't do that math in my head right now, but you're making like $200, $300 off of, you know, a book that only sells for $5 profit, you know. So don't make yourself too rigid. I made that mistake at the beginning with only buying certain things, and, you know, and I've changed. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.